Welcome, everyone, to Life of Giants, where we're talking about emotional management with someone that maybe needs it. I mean, there are some interesting topics. I am Dean of the Genetic Marvel. My co-host, of course, is, as always, Mr. Cole Clayton. How are you, sir?
I was fine until I heard this news.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, and also, Ali Pro, who was on one of the viewers on Generation
9
Day.
a.m.
Yeah, his is well, that's I'm like he's got a ridiculous schedule. So I posted this earlier, and he was like, "Yeah, I might not make it." He's like, "I may have appendicitis." I'm like, "Go to a hospital, bro." He's like, "Well, I wanted to watch the live stream." I'm like, "That's not no. Go to the hospital." That's so.
We ain't that
Yeah.
serious.
And that's yeah. It's he was coming up with some wild facts. 80% of people have herpes and don't know it. Yes, they do. They're just liars. Liver creates the most heat in the
80,
human body.
80% of people who have herpes don't know it, or 80% of people have herpes.
I think 80% of people with herpes don't know that they have it.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a high number.
Yeah, well, yeah. The human body is eaten would be about 81,500 calories. I mean, those are rookie numbers. I'm well over 100,000 for sure. Just like my legs alone. And your butt is bigger than muscle. That's also true. What's up, walkie jockeys are neat? We are well. Listen, we had a great conversation last week, specifically with regards to dealing with emotions, just because it's different for everybody. Now, in this past week, well, let's be honest, America has solved its healthcare crisis via the Second Amendment, which I'm impressed by. No one thought that was going to happen, but it did. And sure enough, you know, people
You
are
solved it with the most American thing you can think of, too.
really did. It's listen. I have
I
questions.
keep saying
Right.
we solved it. We didn't solve anything.
I mean, the Italians did. Once again, the Wops come in out of left field and
We
save
don't
the
know
day.
that he was Italian, though. Like, that's just the
Yeah,
guy that they have in custody is Italian.
Luigi Mangione, notoriously not an Italian name. That's a good point. That's what's up.
What's up, Danny? How you doing, man?
But yeah, yeah. So they have a man in custody. They're alleging that he is the Adjuster, which is the greatest villain name I've ever heard. Hero name? I don't know. Anti-hero?
It's definitely a mass vigilante name.
Yeah, it's a 100% a vigilante name. No
It's
question.
like it's like Batman without all the fucking flair, you know.
Mi scusi.
It's cool.
Yeah. It's Texas Southern University. Hello.
Damn, we got a whole college watching us. Hell yeah!
I mean, that's only reasonable. Welcome, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. We are talking every couple days about all sorts of stuff. We are also today we're discussing emotional management because let's be honest, men have emotions too. They just don't deal with them the same way. And a hello to you too, Texas Southern University. Welcome though. But yeah, so a lot has happened since last week. We wanted to continue the subject, and well, let's be honest. The whole idea is that men have to learn to process emotion and experience it, but then also keep moving forward. It's a thing. What's up, Breezy?
Breezy, what's up?
But ultimately, right? We've seen someone in the past week handle their business quite expertly, which
Yeah, because like I don't want to say your first when we're talking emotional management. At first, your initial reaction is you don't just pull out a gun and kill people, right?
No.
That's you don't.
No.
But at what point does violence become the answer? Because it has to be. I'm so tired of people telling me it's never an answer. It is. It is an answer eventually. It has to. It's the only way to solve certain things.
I think it's a solution as opposed to an answer because an answer predicates a question, and a question being responded to with violence, I think, is an overreaction, right? So what happens is, my belief would be that the only time violence would come into play would be if there is a stalemate. When the questions aren't being answered and the answers aren't being questioned, then there has to be change. And change is important.
Well, right. You have to, it comes with force. You know what I mean?
Want to come be a teacher here? I would love to move to Texas, bro. I'm Canadian though, so
I can't.
I don't know if they'll let him back.
Yeah, I can't say if I became a college professor that I wouldn't like have a scandal with the students. You know, so and I don't mean like a sex scandal. I mean like I'm gonna teach them how to burn some shit down. You know what I mean? Like
everything's bigger in Texas.
Y'all are putting me in charge of the youth. Okay, I'm starting an army.
I had the same discussion. So when we had the police here and we were chit-chatting, we were waiting for everything to finish up. I was talking with him and he was like, I said how I have a friend who's in law enforcement and he keeps on telling me, he's like, you should apply. And I'm like, I'm not fit enough yet to be a cop, but also I would be so corrupt immediately. Like, I don't trust myself with that kind of power because number one, without hesitation, if I'm in a situation where I can legitimately shoot somebody, so I pull out my gat, pop, pop, pop. Like, that's gonna happen. I'm not, but like that's a lot of a burden to bear on your soul. Arsenal 101, chapter 1, gasoline. Yeah. I mean, this is the whole thing. Is it, like I said, it's not, let's talk about facts here, right? Is United Healthcare was not only outright denying claims in and around 90%, but final chapter, they were still denying 32% of claims, which is the highest amongst insurers, which is criminal. Let's be honest, because let's be honest, there are situations where coverage doesn't apply. I'm not saying that that's not reasonable, but 32%, that's one of two things. Either you're lying or the person was lying. And to say that 32% of your clientele are lying about whatever situation seems like
especially being the biggest health insurer in the country, and you're telling me 32% of your clients were denied. You're the number one healthcare provider.
Someone isn't doing their job.
You have the most clients, and a third of them don't even get approved.
Right? That's an
odd thing. If I take money from you, Dino.
Yes.
If you give me money and I'm supposed there's contracts involved in getting insurance. You sign this, you sign that, you sign that. All right, it's very fucking very easy. Most of the time you just check boxes or whatever, blah blah blah. But it is a contract, okay? So if we sign a contract, you give me money and I'm supposed to do a service for you, and I take the money from you, never intending to do the services for you.
Yep.
That's fraud.
That's fraud.
How is that not fraud? You know what I mean? Especially when you consider, before it was different. Before I knew about the AI, now the AI comes involved, and I'm like, that's fraud.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't jive that we're talking about such a heinous number. So I just got sent a stat here. So United Healthcare denied 8.7%. Only about 10% of patients appeal these denials, and of those challenges, about 1/3 fail. In an American Medical Association 2023 survey, 94% of physicians said prior authorization delayed care, and 78% said it's sometimes led to patient abandoning treatment. So what we're talking about is a heinous dereliction of duty, right? It's not a little bit of like, because look, let's be honest, they've turned healthcare into playing a game, which is not only absurd, but should be criminal. And they're like, well, we're just thinking of our shareholders. And you're like, that's not your job. And I equate it to the same principle where politicians are responsible to represent their constituents. Now their responsibility is to guarantee their reelection. Absolutely not. That's a dereliction of duty. And if anything, that's treasonous, right? That is your job. And like, look, if you actively don't do your job, then you should be fired. But if you are actively trying to, by any means necessary, maintain your employment, then your job isn't your job because you're not doing your job. You're just trying to keep your job. It doesn't jive, right?
Well, also what's crazy is like it's been made clear that obviously CEOs are using AI to help their job. When most of us are sitting here thinking we don't even need CEOs anymore when we have AI.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, and that's like, look, but CEOs are actively trying to use AI to replace labor force when it's been proven that, number one, who the CEO is has zero effect on the profitability of the company, whereas consistently an AI can outperform a CEO for the simple fact that it can do the job better.
Right. Well, I mean, and you don't have to pay it. You're fucking $10 million a year. But how do you figure that it doesn't a CEO doesn't improve or fuck up the company at all? Because like, isn't their whole job trying to figure out how to make more profits?
But it's not. That's the thing, is ultimately that comes down to the production of the labor force that occupies things, right? So,
well, okay, but now let's talk about. There's no labor in insurance. That's just taking. That's just a Ponzi scheme.
So, this is the thing: is the more people that are out there selling insurance, they are the ones that get a commission, and then it's the administration of that insurance that creates the profitability. So what's up, Israel Gamer? And also, yeah, these healthcare companies are like the first who say, hey, can I borrow $10? Promise I'll pay you next week. And you never hear from them again. That's 100% factual. Shuli's weak bladder, that is hilarious. Your comment was absolutely ridiculous, but hey, CEOs make sure the company runs. Do they? Okay, this is what we're told, but the fact is that's not true. It's just not, because CEOs.
So what's the difference between a CEO and then just like a fucking shift lead? Then, you know what I mean? Like,
see, and this is where I'm talking about, is that people have this idea that it's their chief executive officer. You're a CEO. Do you know how many people who have a business where it's just them working and they have coded themselves, well, I'm a CEO? You're like, yeah, you're CEO of a company. You just out there working. That's fine, right? But that's the thing. A big organizer. I'm sorry. Have you ever talked to some of these people? It's not. It's not a CEO that makes a profitability. Like the company itself is already in position. The workers who are doing the work is what makes it profitable.
Yeah, because most of the time, most companies, when they're small, don't have a CEO. They just have an owner. Yeah. So you're essentially just putting the owner is like, I don't want to deal with the business anymore. I just want to make money and not do anything. So I'm just gonna pay somebody to do what I do, essentially. Yeah. Right? So, but it's not. That's the thing, is it's not his. The CEO understands that the business isn't his, and now that he has CEO on his resume, when the company fails, he can go be a CEO somewhere else and try to make it not fail. You know what I mean? But he doesn't have like he didn't build the company from scratch, so he's not attached to it. He doesn't know any of the people, probably like the owner does. You know what I mean? The people that were involved in the beginning. You know what I mean? He has no love for anything. You know.
I was the one who said that, and he just proved me right. So we're both right, and you can suck it. Okay.
Twice this week, somebody said I was right.
Okay. So this is insurance CEO, the compensation from 2022, 2021. So we have Alignment Healthcare, 34 million, Bright Healthcare, 10 million, eHealth, 6.2, Oscar Health, 0.7 million, Clover Health. Like, these are. Clover Health went from 2021 compensation was $389 million to not applicable. Listen, it's one giant shell game, right? But the fact is, the CEO, okay, I'm not sure how many managers you've dealt with, because let's be honest that you're not dealing with managers anymore, which everyone should be jealous of you. But how many times, like, I worked in a corporate world, and in turn, new managers come in, they're like, I'm going to change everything up. And you're like, hey, why don't you fix what's broken before you start changing things up? And every time they would change something, it was the dumbest shit ever. And I'll tell you, I got fired because I called somebody on their dumb shit. And I was like, okay, can you just explain how that works? They're like, well, it just works. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm ready to do the job. Can you just explain to me how it works? Because maybe maybe I don't understand. Just explain to me. And they couldn't. They got red in the face, and they're like, well, there's a project manager. Okay, so is that project manager an experienced advisor? Because then they would have an understanding of what we do. They're like, well, we don't know that. Okay, well, then how do we know that they're doing the right thing? Because being an advisor, there is a legal responsibility that we have. So is that being considered in what we're doing? No, we don't know that. Okay, then how is this applicable? And all my coworkers are like, he's fucking right. But none of them say anything because they're smarter than I am, right? Yeah, well, that's 100% what it was, right? That is true.
That's me. I always say something. That's my problem. It's always been my problem. I always say something.
Preach, brother. Me too. Look, let's change something to make my life easier, uncomplicate everything else. That's basically what it is, right? People just want to leave their mark, right? But the fact is, when you see a middle manager trying to show that they're productive, that department is in danger, and they're trying to prove that they have value. Every asshole has a better solution and something that gets paid to conflict that solution on every. Exactly.
Inflict that solution on everyone else. That's very well put. I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone, thank you for watching. We are going to continue this conversation, but make sure you subscribe to Sniffing 22 and Dino the Genetic Marvel. We are monetized, so please feel free to give us gifts, super chats, whatever floats your boat, but we will keep on talking regardless.
And that's that's an important part of emotional management when it comes to being a workforce. Is you kind of have
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you have to kind of
shut up.
How much am I getting paid versus how much bullshit this? It's the same thing with like having like a wife or a girlfriend. It's like, how hot is she? How much does she fucking irritate me? How much is she spending of my money? You know what I mean? How expensive? Yeah, how expensive is she as an expense?
The crazy hot scale right there.
It's the same thing with the job. Yeah. I like the people. A big thing with me keeps me for a long time in a job is I like the people.
Yes.
I've suffered at jobs just because I like the people.
Yes.
Just because the job was shitty.
But let's be honest, having a good manager that had your back always made you do more. That's been always like somebody who I
only have one of those, and I still quit on it.
Like, okay, Victoria, thank you very much. She says, I feel like a middle managers are like, I am helping, and clapping their hands. They're not actually doing anything.
But I did quit on them, but we're still friends. So like we still hang out every once in a while.
It's a job, right? And that's right. A few months ago, you had a chatter who was a high school principal that got rid of vending machines that's just as repulsive as Wall Street Beat. Never forget. Oh, surely
remember that. Yeah.
That is, yeah. There was, and he was like, I fucking hate kids. And I'm like, I get it. Like, but he was at the end, right? Victoria, thank you so much. We appreciate you greatly. Hold on.
Thank you, Victoria.
Let me make sure that you get it. There you go. Thank you. It's appreciated greatly. But yeah, like, look, it's after all is said and done, what we're talking about here is that like it was a massive deal to the status quo, right? And when you're talking about emotional management and dealing with stuff, you're absolutely right. Is that it's kind of a scale of how much do I like this job versus how much I'm getting paid, right? And that has to be like, because in all honesty, like you said, I always say something, and it's a problem, not a solution. I'll be the first to admit it. But the fact is, someone had to say something. I just wish it wasn't always me.
Yeah, because nobody will. There's so many people. There's like so many like. Maybe it's conviction, and maybe it's me that something's wrong with. But like,
maybe
there's so many people in the world who won't do shit because
not my problem.
The money is their problem, but they won't do nothing about the problem that is their problem. I mean, that's how we got in the problem with the insurance people. Because it really comes. I'm going to quote Heath Ledger's Joker here. You know what I mean? It's part of the plan. When you go against the plan, everybody freaks out.
Yes.
But if you stay to the plan, everything's peaceful and cool and chill. Nobody cares. You know what I mean?
Look, there's no question that being the head of a company has its responsibilities and its challenges. No one's questioning that. What I'm saying is this is someone who toots their horn as I'm the CEO, while they may be organizing things or streamlining things, sure, the front line are the ones that are doing the work, right? They're the ones that are producing. So while a CEO may make things more profitable, they are the ones who also throw down mandates like, hey, everyone's getting minimum wage, no one's getting raises, no one's getting Christmas bonuses, we have to think of profits first. That doesn't make you a good CEO. It makes you a shitty person, right? That's basically what it is. Neptune Red, what are we saying here? CEOs are just a scam position to add rich people to the rich people pile to hide the other rich bastards. Like, I mean, to a certain degree, remember, there's a board of directors. Now there was a president and the board of directors and maybe an owner. Now there's a CEO, there's a CFO, there's a CEO, chief operating officer, chief financial officer.
I always wondered what the difference between all those positions were. I'm like, I don't get it. Really, one's an accountant. I'm sure. I don't know which one, but I know one of them's an accountant. I don't know what all the rest do.
Traditionally, they are all useless. This is and you know what? I don't want to say that because I'll tell you this hilarious story. We were as a financial planner, you have a responsibility to get continuing education courses in our field on a regular basis, and you had to do certain courses every couple of years. Yeah, it's a shit show.
Math. It doesn't change. It's been the same for fucking 4,000 years.
But your responsibility is to be up to date, which you're like, okay, I read
numbers. Something that hasn't changed since Pythagoras died.
So longer, but so the whole idea here is that we had a senior VP. So they were, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people above me. Okay, 5 stacks, and he brought up More Cowbell, the infamous Christopher Walken sketch from Saturday Night Live, 4 years after it aired, and was like, I need more cowbell. Have you guys seen this? And I'm saying, going, number one, not an old guy. He was maybe 10 years older than I was. And I'm like, that's 4 years old, you dumb motherfucker. Okay. And he's like, this is amazing. We need more cowbell. And he ended up sending every branch a cowbell. So their morning hustles, they would slam and go, all right, that's a lot of cowbell. And you're going, what kind of fucking crackhead are you? What kind of jagoff is doing this when you're fucking 4 years down the road and you're bringing up a joke? Like, dude, that's the kind of guy who says the same joke every goddamn day and is like, nah, I'm a funny guy, I should be a comedian. You're like, no, you're a piece of shit, you should shut your fucking mouth.
So I did a lot of the places I worked at, because most of my work history is in kitchens. Okay, a lot of my work history was mom and pop places, or like, even if they weren't necessarily mom and pop, they were like fine dining. But it was still singularly owned. I don't know if you would call that a mom and pop. But the couple I worked for like a Denny's and I worked for like Burgers Bagels. Those are the two corporates that I worked for. And like every once in a while somebody would come down with like some new like recipe of shit, and dude, this is why I can't work for corporate places, because like I don't know who came up with some of these like ideas for the way things are. I'm like, you're bogging the whole thing down. Anytime somebody orders that, it's going to take me so much longer to grab that, and put it all together, and then cook it the way that you want me to cook it, and then top it the way you want me to top it. And that's going to fuck over every other table. Every other table is getting fucked over now because I have to focus so much time on this. But they think it's gonna sell or whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm just like, who the fuck? Some fucking dude in a suit came up with this sandwich. He was never worked in a kitchen in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, if he's even ever had a sandwich, you're like, what kind of fucking nut job is it? Like, who are you to say that, right? So hold on, look. Unfortunately, if a company has a board of members, owners, CEO, CFO can get outvoted in decisions. I actually knew an owner of a vodka company who was bought out, fired from his own company. Exactly, that's insane, right? That is how you get.
he got McDonald's. He got Ray Kroc.
He got Ray Kroc. Look, that's how you get. You know how much I've sacrificed? Boom, Green Goblin. That's how that works. And then he blows your ass up.
Oh yeah, he got Norman Osborn.
Yeah, decisions are presented to them by the workers, and then they make a decision. I think. So you would that would make sense, Neptune Red. That would make sense. Nope, that's not what happens. They are in their own la la land, and they just think, Catherine, cowbell, love the gross bear. I'm not sure who the gross bear is. Am I the gross bear? I mean, I'm probably the gross bear, but I appreciate your love. I'm married, but still, it's
you know, bear means gay, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm Greek, so it's fine. Is you Nimbus me right?
What?
Jackson, your cat is pressing buttons on your keyboard. Let's try and spell that out again. No, but this is that's they.
So all I'm understanding, you know, from what you're telling me is that this dude didn't even kill the right guy.
There's a very good plot. Well, so this guy was well, and this is where the plot thickens. Is that yeah, so hold on. Number one, yeah, they don't have to be smart. They are 99% hired. Listen, the CEOs and board of directors is a very tight-knit group. Oh, hey, they're dirty.
They're gay.
Oh, LOL, like the gross bear. Who's the gross bear? Come on, Catherine. You're killing me here. Detroit Lions, the best team. I mean, let's calm down, Tyrell. They don't have to be smart. Yeah, they're I just woke up. I'm proud of you, Catherine. You did wake up, and that's like 99% the hard part. Maybe Catherine was talking about the bear from Picking the Bear versus the Man. I mean, that's also
let's not do that today. That's a different topic for a different day.
That's gonna be beer. Like the gross beer. Oh, I don't know what that is. Cowbell. I've never had that, but yeah, no. Because it's like beer. It's beer. Sorry, Catherine. I'm old.
She did say beer the second time, and neither one of us caught it.
Well, we can't read, really. That's and think she wrote beer. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate of course my wife is gonna show me where I'm stupid. I mean,
there's a beer named Cowbell?
I mean, yeah, probably. It seems like it. Catherine's been hanging out with men who drink it. Gross. Yeah.
Cowbell is like the joke he's referencing a joke. Was Christopher Walken from Saturday Night Live from fucking 20 years ago now this joke is? And
at least
can we talk about that for a second? I've never understood that joke. I've never understood why people think that people reference that joke to me all the time. I've seen it in real time. People reference. I've never found it funny. I don't get it. I don't get the joke.
The joke is that he is like, I produce great records, and I'm telling you the key to this is more cowbell, right? Which is insane. But also watching Will Ferrell's expert rendition of being a active nuisance in a recording studio combined with hitting a cowbell right next to someone's face while you're doing it is it's the entire experience that is insane, right? Sure. But yeah, listen, we can analyze the shit out of that. It's Saturday Night Live. It's not like it's actually funny. Half of CEOs could be incest hookups, probably. I mean, for sure. Look, they're king of nepotism type and simony and all those kind of things. These aren't Walkie Talkies and he just sent me a fucking picture of more cowbell, which I mean, I'm gonna put it up because it's hilarious. It's like, let's be honest. This is
so. Do you think
this picture in and of itself? You're like, that's wild, right? So just without the cowbell, it's hilarious. So,
what do you think about this Luigi Mangione guy?
So, here is the facts. Okay, we're getting trickle truthed a lot of this information, right? So
Reaganomics.
Reaganomics is coming through. But what we found out was that that CEO of United Healthcare was also scheduled in the very near future to be deposed. Hilarious. Deposed with regards to insider trading charges against Nancy Pelosi. That is a thing, which you may have heard of a little family that used to have the husband be president. I believe he was the first black president. His name is Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I think we can say Clinton, right?
Like, well, we can say Bill Clinton. We
as
can't
long
say,
as long as Marco is not on the show.
Yeah, well, it's HRC is his wife. That will drop everything. But so
you think that had something to do with it, or you think that was coincidence?
There's no such thing as coincidence. But
really, you don't think? I believe in coincidences.
So, do they happen? Yes. Do I believe in them? No. So, it's my experience is that things happen for a reason. Now, whether that reason could be universal function on some level that we can't comprehend, possible. That would be something of a coincidence. But again, if the universe is influencing it, is it a coincidence? No. There's always some driving factor. So the fact that he was scheduled to testify, that's an alarm. I've also saw on, let's be honest, I'm in Canada, so the most reliable news, TikTok.
Right. I mean, that's here too, in the States.
Yeah, that's basically is that they were
showing.
I'm
trying to ban it next month.
There was a picture of the adjuster in a cab with his face covered and his hood on, and a few people who were private investigators and analysts were like, I'll tell you right now, he's wearing a mask, and this is also a mask. That is not a real face. And you're going, I believe that more so. But then you're like, okay, but then we get into the depth of everything that's happened. Is so someone who evaded police. Remember, broad daylight shooting. Okay, broad daylight evades New York City police, which is littered with police officers. Let's be honest. Okay.
Yeah, it's the crazy. It's like military. There's many fucking
100%.
They have in New York. They have like 100 something districts of fucking districts of police departments or whatever. It's fucking insane.
I stayed at a hotel up the street from that Hilton. I know which Hilton that is in Manhattan. It's a very nice area. So if the memory serves, I'm old as shit, so maybe I'm not, but I'm pretty confident it was a Hilton, and it was right by that area. So that all being said, broad daylight, evaded police in one of the most policed islands in the country, if not the world, right? Evades them for 3 days, but then is reported to be eating at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania, Alton, Pennsylvania, which if you check out the reviews of that McDonald's, it is getting 1 star because apparently it's full of rats.
It's got rats in it.
It's got rats in it. So a senior citizen age worker who is visually impaired to some degree was able to identify him by the grainy ass pictures that allegedly show the face of the adjuster. And they found him, and they found him with a bunch of fake IDs, which he attempted to give to police. Sure. Also, his
was he just waving these IDs around? Like, what the fuck?
His 3D printed gun, allegedly, and a manifesto. Now, I'm not a murderer. I have resting murder face. That is true. But I am not a murderer. I am not convicted of anything. Now,
I've contemplated it a few times.
Oh, on a daily basis.
Weigh the options here. How long is 25 years?
Yeah. I'm like, will I last? Will
I
I
think
be?
I'm in a death penalty state too. So
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky one, right? So
right.
all that being said, how is it that falls through? So it's kind of a weird thing
Oh,
that
walkie-talkie brought up a great point.
hold on. Was it coincidence some famous dude may or may not have hung themselves in a jet? I mean, like P. Diddy's looking suicidal. I'm just saying. That's just
Before we move on to the next couple of comments, I do want to kind of segue that a little bit. What do you think is more likely that happened here? Do you think this was supposed to be a hit by Nancy Pelosi? Okay, all allegedly. Do you think this what is more likely that this was a hit by Nancy Pelosi to take out the opposition in her court case or whatever? That why for one, why would they do that publicly? You know what I mean? Out in the open, that's just weird. You know, it would get or well, to add on to that, they didn't realize that it was going to stir up the public, and now they're trying to quickly. Oh shit, we did something, and it made the whole situation worse. Or do you think it was a customer or a family member of a customer who killed this guy, and he's getting revenge of some sort?
okay.
What do you think is more likely here?
So the likelihood of it being a coincidence that this person met their end at the same time as they were going to testify against someone as powerful as Nancy Pelosi. Okay.
That is
And
crazy. I will
okay,
say it is
it
crazy.
is crazy,
I just
right?
don't know how much
So,
I believe it.
Fair. Combined with someone doing some upper level Batman villainy shit of carving in the casings, deny, depose, deny, defend,
See,
depose.
that's what kind of fucking makes it weird because, like, he did that, and so if they were trying to make it look like it was like a revenge thing, even if that's fake, and that this is a hitman paid for by a politician,
Yeah.
And they used that as like a way to like throw off everybody. Did they not realize that that was going to stir up the public in a way? Did they not? Do they not read memes like at all? Do their nieces and nephews and grandkids not show them memes ever? Like, do they not see their nieces and nephews and grandkids and kids Facebooks? You know what I mean? Like their friends Facebooks. You know what I mean? Like there's no way they didn't know that that wasn't going to start like uh I don't know what you would call it, like a cold revolution.
Well, let's be honest, is that
Because
the
now it seems like
idea.
that Mangione guy is bullshit. This isn't the real guy. There's no fucking way in my there's no doubt in my mind that this dude's a patsy to clear the whole thing up real quick. This dude's gonna go down for something he didn't do. I don't know if he's getting paid or if they're just forcing it upon him, but they're trying to clean it up quick. This is not the guy, and I really do feel like they are trying to cover up the whole situation because now the public's kind of it is not just a left or right thing. Because look at Ben Shapiro, he was trying to blame it on the left. They were trying to do a divide. They were trying to divide us again, and it's not working. So now they're like, well, we got to find a guy to fix it. So like, if it is a hit, a true hit, and the fucking bullet casings were a way to make it look like, oh, he was just a pissed off customer or whatever, which does seem to be a fucking play when you look at the Donald Trump thing and the Kennedy assassinations. You know what I mean? That is kind of a move that they would make, but they couldn't have seen. They could. There's no way they didn't see that coming. What the residual effects were, because this isn't going away now. Everybody's like,
No.
nobody's buying it either. The
Well,
Mangione guy.
also you've had a few CEO types mention how important CEOs are, which are it's false. It's just
And people's pictures are being taken down from their websites. CEOs are being taken down from the websites.
I posted a TikTok where I'm like, it's funny. So there was a retraction by Blue Cross Blue Shield, how they had just come out to say that they were no longer going to pay for anesthesia past what they deemed necessary for certain surgeries because it's expensive.
They're not doctors.
Besides that, that's what they were doing. They did that within 23 hours of Brian Thompson being shot. They retracted that. They're, no, we're not doing that. And
McDonald's
also
came out with a snack wrap.
McDonald's brought back the snack wrap. You're going, so
like,
listen, there are 3 CEOs that are okay right now. Number 1 is Costco for $1.50 hot dogs. Who, if you change the price of that hot dog, I will fucking kill you. On record saying that. Number 2, Arizona iced tea. It's 99 cents. Go fuck yourself. Okay. And number 3 is the CEO of Aldi, who kept groceries low while everyone else has been gouging everyone during the entire pandemic. Now,
it's the only place I've been able to shop, that and Dollar Tree, this whole last 4 years, for the most part.
So every other CEO has been trying to find ways to screw not only the customer, clientele, and staff, but everyone they come into action with. Now, hold on. So my last job, we had cowbells, and when anyone would ring it, all the employees would start yelling more cowbell. Jesus Christ, Serge. Was there a school shooter? Like, what happened there? Because it sounds horrible. What kind of beer? It was gross beer. Murder face. Yeah. So this is murder face. There you go. This sounds like the plot for my cousin. I mean,
that's what I wanted to bring up earlier when I said he had a good point. It is the plot of My Cousin Vinny.
It's 100%. Like, this is the thing is, so I'm just reading a
He's
website.
even Italian.
Well, he's even Italian. Hey, so I'm reading an article that is has fact checked the idea that CEO Brian Thompson was about to testify against former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He says, no, that's not true. There's no evidence connecting his death to insider trading allegations involving Pelosi, nor has Pelosi been accused of such a crime. Not true. Everyone's accused her. She just hasn't been charged with anything.
Yeah, accusation and charge are 2 different things.
Right. However, in May 2024, Thompson was named in an insider trading lawsuit filed by the Hollywood Firefighters Pension Fund against United Health Group executives. The claim appeared in a post published on Threads on December 7th, and it said all this stuff. So that may not be true. So, but also too, like, let's be honest, is the details of everything are mental and up there with like some Batman villain shit, right? The fact that he carved those words on shell casings before going at it. Also too, his gun did jam. Very peculiar. But so anyone who's fired a gun before and had to deal with a gun jamming, you need to know what you're doing to unclog that.
You know, I've shot plenty of guns and never had one jam on me. I don't know. I'm not a gun guy, like I'm not like a gun nut or anything. I don't know guns like that. I've never owned my own gun either. So I've only been like with friends and shot their guns. So maybe that's what it is. They take care of their guns, but yeah, I mean, I've been hunting and stuff too, but no, I've never had one jam on me. So I wouldn't even know. Honestly, I wouldn't even know what's going on. I'd be like, it's not shooting here.
I've never even seen a gun. Just never. Victoria says, think you're not normal if you haven't contemplated it at one point. She's talking about murder. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. His adjuster, LOL. I think this will be big news for the next 3 weeks, and then something new will be reported. I don't even think it'll be 3 weeks, my friend. I think this is going to fade into the night as quick as humanly possible because let's be honest.
I don't know because they can't control TikTok and they still have another month of TikTok doing its thing. And so it's not going to be on fucking Fox News or CNN, that's for sure. But
so yeah, they have money so they can buy out of any situation. A monkey could literally be so that's not wrong.
This is where Elon Musk shows his true colors, I think.
Okay, it's always like this girl tried to kill Mussolini, but the gun jammed or whatever. So this is the thing is, if you've been in a situation where a gun would jam, okay, the amount of cold-blooded killer that you need to be to fix that and continue
In
with the
motion,
job.
in motion of
Right?
still getting the job done.
That is some next level shit. Now, and okay, so this is the thing, okay? Is yeah, I'm hoping for jury nullification. I
We'll
mean,
bring that up in just a second.
yeah, we'll definitely.
We'll get to that.
That's a good one. Thank you. But like, okay, so this is the thing: is if he was cold enough to unjam and finish the job, okay, him carving in deny, defend, depose on the thing pairs up. That is a, let's be honest, for lack of a more destructive, that is a supervillain, right? That is a cold-blooded motherfucker. But that also carries towards the idea of him being hired to do that job. Do you understand what I mean? Like, you don't get to be that cold, calculated, and skilled out of malicious intent. You get that from experience and training.
Money.
I mean, like, there's a lot.
I don't know, but the way he held the gun kind of just screams, I go to the range a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just nobody holds a gun like that except for a cop and some dude who's nervous to hold a gun. Most, like, granted, I'm talking shit, but wouldn't, especially in a public setting, wouldn't a hitman just like stick the gun under his arm and just walk off, you know?
Well, like, that's the Irishman style where he walks up, is like, hey, how you doing? Pop, pop, and just keeps on walking.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's kind of what he did. He kind of did a Yui, you know, across the street, which I don't know. It just seemed like crossing a street after you just murdered somebody seems a little risky. You know what I mean? Because now you're effectively because now you're in the middle of the road, right? So now you got both sides of the sidewalk around you. So now you've just maximized the amount of people who can see you. You know what I mean?
Well, and listen, Zara, I do know what you mean. I'd rather die than shoot a gun.
It just nothing to me screams Hitman to me.
Well, look at so
my knowledge of Hitman comes from movies, so I don't really know how a hitman acts, but I assume there's a way of professionality, because when I go in a kitchen, I'm not the most professional guy, but when you see me in the kitchen, Dino, you know I know what the fuck I'm doing, and you see me run into snags like a gun jamming, but in my case, you know, like there's a fire. I know how to put out a fucking fire immediately. I know how to wrap up a fucking finger that got cut, or food that got dropped on the floor. I know how to do that. Oh, something's burning. Throw tomatoes in it. There's too much salt. Throw some potatoes in it. I don't freak out. I stay under pressure. I already know how to handle a situation. You know what I mean? Which I get is the gun jamming situation. But maybe he just knows how to handle a gun jamming. That's all. You know?
Okay, so, and this is the thing, is this is the kind of stuff we're seeing. So right here, his little human shield, EMS called out for suspiciously bringing his son to a thing, right? Also, the answer, it depends. A well-maintained gun from a reliable manufacturer using quality, not necessarily expensive ammunition with manufacturer or heavily tested third-party magazine, where applicable, in ideal circumstances, will almost never jam. I've gone thousands of rounds in various guns without a jam. That's fair. This is proper gun stance, so as well. But this is the thing, okay? And this is where it comes down to it. So Zara, I rather die than shoot a gun. I think that's a reason why you should shoot a gun. Just an FYI. And I'll explain to you this, is that is, you have to face your fear.
You probably are gonna die if you're in a situation where you need to shoot a gun. Then
I'll go to a different planet
with that attitude.
Zara, okay, I hope you never have that situation placed on you. I'll be honest with you, but I'll go to a different planet before taking a life. Fuck that. I'll go somewhere else. No, you're wrong. And I'll tell you why, is because that I wish you no harm ever, and I wish you never are put in that circumstances, but you can't commit to something to that degree and be knowledgeable of it, because you can never say never. And that's the only reason I'm saying that, is because as someone who has been to a gun range and has fired a gun before, I'll tell you, it is awesome. I'm not saying to shoot something is great, but shooting gun is a great feeling, and it is an enjoyable experience. I personally like to shoot for distance and accuracy. That's my peripheral thing. I'm not a gangster. I am not a hardcore gentleman. I am more so just someone who enjoys target practice. But easy choice. It's not. And
I want
Zara,
to go goose hunting.
it's absolutely. We could do it in Ohio. But like that's the thing is, it's not an easy choice. And you saying it's an easy choice tells me you actually haven't. You may have considered it, but you haven't been in the situation. And that's why I would encourage you to go to a controlled environment, go to a shooting range, and actually shoot a gun. Why? Because you should try it before you knock it. Right? It's just fair.
What was like how like Zara, are you a woman or a man? Okay, or if you're non-binary, either way, if you don't have a dick, it's like a gun. Shooting a gun is like having your first dick, and if you do have a dick,
Yeah.
it's like having your second dick.
Yeah. And if you ride a horse, it's like having your third dick. I'm telling you right now. It feels like, hey, I rode a horse and I'm like, bro, if I had a gun too, I'm walking around with 3 wieners and they're all big. It's fantastic. But yeah, I would encourage you, Zara, to do that. Russia is strength and power. I mean, so are a lot of places. The guy was 26. I guarantee you his health insurance expired and he felt the full weight of that is being done to the American people. And that spurred him into action. So that's okay.
26-year-old thinking about that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I feel like
26-year-old is thinking about how do I get some pussy. That's it. That's all they're thinking about. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's from 30-year-olds. That's a 30-year-old's mentality on a 26-year-old. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, and if he has that mentality at 26, it's because he has kids. But if he had kids, he would be out doing that crazy shit because he's got kids to take care of. You know. So well, I don't know. There's just not some 26-year-old dude going to do that.
I feel like
with that, there's something happened. He felt jilted in some way.
For some reason.
Not just the full weight of, oh, now I have to pay for my own shit. You know, it doesn't add up.
There's something we're missing, is what my assumption is, and that's fair. What's the difference between a hippo and a zippo? One's really heavy and the other's a little lighter. Well done, sir. Well done. We are so selfish to think this 100 years is our whole life. I mean, why is that? Why is it now? Yeah, but why is that selfish? I'm legitimately asking, why is it selfish to think that you should make the most of your time here? LOL, humans are weird. I don't disagree, but also that is a very suspicious statement. Glory to Russia. Good for you, Michelle. But your name is Michelle, so I'm not sure I trust you.
That bitch. This is Russia.
These glitch planets be like. Also, Zara, I feel like you're alluding to. Oh, there we go. That's the comment. Aliens, ghost. You are not human.
You leave the planet. Now you're telling me you're not even from here. What a fucking cop out.
The gun stance looks like you're prepping for a poop, possibly. And when you fire, you might poop your pants. Or about to do Tai Chi. That's
right. You're like,
so a loved one died due to UHC's policy, a sister, a wife, a brother, a friend, a parent. So yes, possible, but that doesn't explain the the amount of aggressive mental situation that you need to also get the ability to do that. Like it there's got to be more.
I think it's that one. That's the one. I mean,
that's because
a loved one died, or he got fucked over by it, or whatever. You know, something. This is more revenge to me than just the full weight of, you know, having to pay for shit. You know, at a young age, no less. You know.
And listen, and this is in part of what we're talking about with regards to emotional management, is that to get to that stage, there are a lot of steps that would need to come before that, right? And Zara, I'm sorry, I don't mean to attack you, right? And I know you're okay, you win, you're right, I'll be wrong, just chill out, okay? I'm not trying to, I'm challenging, not like I'm questioning, not challenging you. I'm encouraging you to be more than you are, as I do with everyone. Okay, so I'm not trying to be mean, so please don't take it that way. Russia is strength. I mean, I've seen some.
Y'all need to calm down with that shit, okay? Y'all, Russia over here. Hold on, Russia. Y'all gotta calm down with that shit, okay? It's that shit that's getting y'all into the next world war, okay? Y'all over there trying to fucking blow up Ukraine, which I understand because of the whole NATO thing, but like y'all over here talking shit to us, and then I'm the type of guy. I got a podcast. Okay, you start talking shit to me, I'll start talking shit to everybody. All right, and then Americans, we get riled up real quick, as you can see. As you can see, as soon as somebody shoots a gun, we're like, yeah, right? Chill out, Russia.
Also, Michelle, you have a girl's name, so let's calm down. You're not that strong.
No, because that's a Russian thing. Because like
having girls' names, that's right. That is a Russian thing.
Dudes be named Sasha over there. I'm not gonna pick on them for that. It's a cultural thing.
I will. It's a little bit weird, a little bit gay.
Those are women's names over here, Sasha, Michelle. But I get it. That means you're tough over there. I guess you have to be tough when you're a boy named Sue.
See you later, Serge.
Later, Serge.
I think in the right scenario, if you need to protect people you loved, you would consider using whatever weapons are available. I mean, that is factual, right? Michelle, Russia is a
crowbar and a rebar in my car, just in case I need both.
See, okay, Zara, you said make me. If you had a gun, I would be worried. Without a gun, I'm not worried. See how? And like, I'm just telling you, like, it's just one of the things, right? LOL. Bye, Serge. How do you know I have a dick?
I asked. I didn't really ask. I was just assuming either you did or you didn't.
I can't hide from y'all.
Usually one or the other.
It's one of those things. Shooting a gun is like having your first dick. That needs to be on a plaque somewhere. I mean, it's definitely on someone's wall.
It's gonna be on a t-shirt soon.
Guns and ammo. Alien revealed itself. I mean, tis the season, right? Gavrilo Principe, the guy who started World War I by killing Franz Ferdinand, was 19. Get the fuck out with this. Young people just want to get pussy. I mean, have you seen young people these days?
But that started from a bar fight weeks prior, though. Like, they leave that part out. I've done some research. It started. That happened, but it started weeks prior with other guys having a fucking bar fight, probably over some pussy, and somebody got disrespected, and that fight carried over into some beef several days later that ended up having Franz Ferdinand killed, which started the First World War. Isn't that crazy?
So
19-year-old men are the worst people on earth. Okay. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And also, so walkie-talkies are neat. This is a good point. Dude got assassinated in public. To me, it seems like it was a message. I mean, that's the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. If it was a hit job, it would have been done in his house or something. Or in the hotel, even. I'm
a comedian and YouTuber, as I'm just being a character in shows. Then we appreciate Zara, but then we want you as a guest, and we fight face to face. That's how it works. The full weight of having to pay for shit is the revenge. He wasn't taking the injustice lying down, whether for himself. Yeah, but also, have you seen pictures of him? The guy had a six-pack. I don't feel like his premiums would be that high. Y'all's character is all right. Keep working at it. Y'all good chemistry. I mean, we touch each other's wieners once in a while. It's a sword fight.
Let's go back to this thing. That's just like that. I don't want it to be that. That's what it is. Okay. I hope it's not that. It could be. I don't buy it because I see myself in this guy, and that wouldn't be my reason. Okay, this reason right here is kind of gay. I have to pay for stuff. I'm gonna go kill a guy. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of weak. It's kind of punk. You know what I mean? Kind of a punkish thing.
I mean,
getting revenge for a loved one. That's some John Wick shit. That's some Taken shit. That's some Die Hard shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, but
get behind.
But let's be honest. Both of those scenarios were very expertly trained, committed people that were able to pull this shit off.
John McClane wasn't very well trained. He was a New York cop. He was was he a detective? He might have been a detective, but he wasn't combat trained per se.
No, not. I said John Wick and Taken. Those
guys, but not John McClane.
Listen, even Victoria is shoving it down your throat, Atlas. Gavrilo Principe lived in a different era where people were married with kids at 19. Also true. He was a fucking man.
Also that too, right?
Zara says, take me out. I will take you out. I'll fight you. No problem. Shout out to Gavrilo. I'd smoke with him. Oh yeah, Cole, go dogs. God damn. Zara,
go dogs.
Hey, let's do it. We'll have you as a guest. We'll talk. No problem. We'd love to have you. The six-pack is what doesn't make sense for me either. Also, okay, listen, let's be honest. He doesn't look like a guy that's hard up for poontang. Okay? And as we have understood,
why would you throw away your life over some shit? It has to be revenge, man.
Something doesn't connect, right? Peace out. We'll talk.
Later, Zara.
How are you gonna drop the N-word like that, Zara? Jesus. A fucking pencil. Exactly, right? It's a man of fucking determination. You don't need to be trained in order to be a man. You just need to do what's right. Sometimes that means getting left on. I mean, okay, so I agree.
I do think you should screen some of these comments before we put them up on the
I mean, that's also one of those things.
on the screen, literally.
Okay, so who's working on a six-pack during the day and then writing death notes in their free time? A few people. Let's be honest.
I'm a salty colonel, though. Yeah, you're right. You don't need to be trained to do what's right. You just need to do what's right. But sometimes you gotta like do something that requires, like fucking training. Like I couldn't jump from roof to roof. You know what I mean? If I needed to, like I'm fucked. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't do that. So I'm gonna try not to be in a situation where everybody needs me to jump from roof to roof. You know what I mean? I'm not Batman. You know what I mean? Like, so.
I mean, like there's a lot to deal with that. So I don't know. I don't. It's a peculiar thing that doesn't add up, and I have a hard time understanding a situation where people are like, oh yeah, it's just it makes sense. You're like, I don't really think it does make sense. Like there are too many questions with this that very peculiar, very, very much a thing. But hold on. So Broda Bacon's like, me, I'm working on abs and writing a manifesto. I mean, that's fine. I got that rockin' hot bod by day, deadly calligraphy by night. It was probably going to happen with Gavrilo, but still. See, that's the thing, though, is that remember, we're in that period of time where soft men have created hard times. And those hard times are now going to create hard men. Right?
Well, it looks like we already got one. Like the dude's got a six-pack. He's out here capping the enemy. Like just right there on the street in front of everybody, like not giving a fuck. That's some gangster ass shit, bro.
It is, right?
Dude was like, I'm gonna do my 1,000 1,001. All right. Yeah. Let's head to the Hilton. Like,
I mean, like it's there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions, and I don't know. I don't know why this is like the idea that that he got caught like is also let's be honest, a 60-year-old man who's working at McDonald's would definitely sell out for 50 grand. That's factual. But I feel like it's still odd, right? Like none of it makes any sense. And this is why I'm just kind of trying to understand where.
What was like my first initial reaction? Because my mom came and told me about it, like, and she was like, "Oh, a CEO was murdered on the streets in New York tonight," and I was just, before I knew anything about anything, I was just like, "Ah, good." Like,
yeah,
no sympathy from the jump. And I feel like everybody did. And then the more it came out, we were like, "Oh, there was casing that's denied, opposed, delay, or whatever the defend," and it just became like there's monopoly money in the backpack. It just became like orgasmic.
Yeah.
More information.
It's one of those things, right? Welcome from Algeria. Goddamn. What's up, bro?
It was literally like reading middle class smut, but on the news. Like
yeah. A CEO responsible for denying 90% of claims with his use of AI got shot dead on the streets of Manhattan. You're like, all right, let's do it. Everyone's like, it's about goddamn time.
And the runner got away.
Oh yeah, he
He had
got
a
away.
back.
Yeah,
He
he's
left
got a
Monopoly money in his backpack.
You're like
The gun
full
jammed
gang.
on him. It was on camera. Like he worked right through it. The whole thing just screams like a movie. Like this is like,
Yeah.
I
It does.
really do feel like this is a DB Cooper situation. I don't think the Mangione guy is real. Like I don't think that's him. I don't think he did that.
Bruce Wayne of Pennsylvania. I mean, like, right? Like it doesn't add up.
Bruce Wayne of PA.
It's there's too many questions that are like they're it's doesn't make sense. But like
That's the other thing that doesn't make sense. Let's get into that for a second with him being caught.
Yeah.
You said he had fake IDs and he had the gun on him, and somebody saw him with the gun and the IDs. Was he
Ace.
waving these all around like, "Oh, I'm a gangster"? This dude must have found these. This dude must have found these thrown out somewhere.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. It's just like it was me. I did it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Taking like credit for something that he clearly didn't do.
Well, this is the thing is that someone who is cold enough to uh uh you know have a misfire, still get the job done and then walk away. They were saying that he had a disguise in his backpack, and even look, the two pictures they showed of on camera when it happened, and then when they said, "Oh, this is what we think he looks like with his mask down," you're like, he's wearing a different color jacket and a different color backpack. That's weird.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, well, he left his backpack in Central Park." Okay, how many people do you know who will leave a backpack, but then they have a spare backpack of another color that they will put on? Just
Yeah, who has two backpacks?
like that look similar. It's not.
Before
That's
you
not.
started getting into maybe he was a hitman. He had all these different like.
I see, and that's why you're kind of going like, I have questions, right? And this is.
I will also say the dude they caught don't look like the dude in the picture with his mask down. They don't. They have similar eyebrows, but other than that, the jawline's different.
We were talking about it yesterday, and it's like there's a good chance it was Anne Hathaway or Jake Gyllenhaal. Also could have passed
Jake
for that.
Gyllenhaal, yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, 100%. I saw somebody photoshopped Hillary Clinton's face on the shooter, and I'm like,
that too.
I could believe that. Yeah, that's fair. But like, it's there's things aren't adding up, right? And
Somebody
this is
who
where
who pulled all that off the way he did it didn't wince at the gun jamming, was able to walk off, smart enough to ride off on a bike, something that doesn't have like a license plate that's trackable. You know what I mean? Didn't get in an Uber or nothing. Went through Central Park, dropped his backpack off there for it to be found to say, hey, you know what I mean? And then he's out here like getting busted by some blind guy who like in a McDonald's no less. Like,
okay, here, let me share these pictures because they are valid. 1 second here.
Viva la Italia.
Okay, so we have this, then this, which that is not a real face, and then backpack. You're going, I don't think so. Also, I got this, the wiener gun, and America.
Gang, gang.
Nothing is adding up, but like, so testosterone, steroids involved. He's not that big.
Somebody check him for steroids.
And like, it's not like there's the
He's sort of built like my brother Grayson.
9'9". So you're the second person to put 9'9".
No, GG.
Oh, is it GG?
Good game.
That's fair. What does 999 mean? That's what Zara put. I don't know what that means. I'm old.
999. Yeah, that's like some kind of like demon shit, I think.
Also, Neptune, was it good game or gang gang?
Gang gang. It could be gang gang.
I mean, I've heard young people say that. Victory Royale.
One of the young people says it.
None of like, look, Do you remember the guy who shot up the Batman movie?
Wait, what?
The Batman movie. There
Which
was
one?
he went into a theater and shot everybody up with a like an AK or an AR-15.
What Batman movie is this?
It was Dark Knight, the one with the Joker. He had his hair was
Oh,
all
I'm
dyed red,
thinking in Colorado, the Joker guy.
and then when you saw him in court, you look at him, you're going, this is not a sane person, right? Like
Right.
this guy's, and you see him when they're reading out what he did, and he's like, and you're like, that is a fucked up guy, and you're going like, this is not. It doesn't make sense, and also like,
Right, the dude's kind of pretty. You know what
he's
I mean?
very
Like a pretty boy. You know,
listen. He's
well
very
kept.
look. This is the picture that we're talking about here, and you're going, so that's. I don't think so, bro. Those
Right.
aren't the same people. And also, like, it's just like when you factor in that doesn't look like it. Like the person said that picture, and they're like, that's not his face. Like that's a rubber mask, and he's also wearing a face mask. So, but you're
What
going
is
like,
that? Go back to the picture of it in the car. What? Why is he in a car?
I don't know.
I don't
I
understand.
believe,
I've seen that picture like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like,
I know, and
I
I
don't.
don't know where he's.
Why is there a picture of him in a car? Like it looks like he's in like the back seat of a squad car,
I believe that's just a cab because
a
it's New York City.
cab. So he
It's
was in a cab. I don't know, man. Some
but
weird.
they were saying that he allegedly drove off on a bike. So
Maybe that's a picture of him coming to New York.
okay, that's how old I guess. That's fair. He's going to be holding somebody's pocket in jail 100%. He is
The
pretty.
dude they caught, or the dude who shot the guy? Because the dude who shot the guy is not somebody to be trifled with.
Hey, he's
Okay.
not. He's not going. The guy who shot, the guy who pulled the trigger, is not going to jail.
Yeah, no, but no, the dude who shot the guy also wouldn't be holding nobody's pocket. He'd be the guy who's having people hold his pockets.
Yeah.
He'd have like 4 or 5 guys holding his pocket at once. Don't let go.
Yeah. So this is Luigi Mangione is seen inside the police station in Altoona, Pennsylvania, December 9th, 2024.
Same eyebrows, but other than that, I don't see it.
Okay, but those are just eyebrows, and also he doesn't look Italian. He looks a little Middle Eastern. I'm just throwing that out there.
It does look a little Middle Eastern, but
Just
I mean,
saying.
Italy is the Middle East, so
That's not true.
it is.
I can't feel my face when I sniff glue, but I love it and I still do it. I mean, that's fair.
Italy, Rome, Greece, Portugal, Spain, parts of France. It's all the Middle East.
You've never left
You
your own
can't even
country.
argue with me on the France part because it's full of Muslims now.
I mean, I'll give you that. I will give you that. It's fair. Yeah, France is falling apart. That's just because they are.
Their government collapsed yesterday, I believe.
As did Germany's recently.
Germany was last month. I don't understand what that means because I keep reading about what I think. Can we talk about that for a second? Because I feel like you would know more than me about stuff like that. Because when I read their government collapse, I'm thinking, oh, anarchy. But evidently, it's like a part of government.
Once again, CEOs play zero role in the actual functioning of things. So, in the same sense, the government may have fallen apart. Day-to-day life keeps going. So, it's not.
So, is that similar to like when our government, like,
do you remember when they had
lockdown? I think it's called lockdown.
Furlough.
I don't think furlough is the word. We have a word for it. I forget.
I believe it's. Let me just Google it.
I've
quickly.
never heard furlough until COVID, but we had a situation where Obama didn't want to do something, and so they just like paused the government. We couldn't get mail.
Furlough means suspension or discharge of a worker or workers on account of economic conditions or shortage of work, especially when temporary. That is right.
I know what it means now, but I didn't hear furlough until COVID. But I'm thinking of in 2016, right before Trump was elected. Before the election, even in 2016, our government shut down, I believe, because Obama didn't want to sign something, so the whole government was like stopped for 2 weeks. So we literally could not get mail. Nobody was getting their social security checks, which was bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
that was furlough.
Well, that's not the word they used, but I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that's not the word they used. I want to say lockdown or shutdown or something like that. Government shutdown? I think that's what it was.
It's a government shutdown, yeah. That's the
So
like
is that what
that.
a collapse is a shutdown? Is that what they're saying over there? Because like
No, it's
collapse is
more
not a
so that
dramatic word
it's
for
more
what's
so
happening over there.
it's more so that it's a inability of one specific party from having enough votes and or authority to push through new laws to actually make government happen. That's what it is. So they have, when they fall apart, that means that they can no longer push through or approve things because they don't have the votes. Because remember, our democracies work under the principle that you have the majority amounts of votes and or power, giving you the authority to choose to do what you want to do. That is why you have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, essentially keeping everybody in line. However, the president can write an executive order and the House and the Senate can eat shit. So and that's the thing is, remember, in most countries, they don't have necessarily a president in the same way that the United States does, unless it's Russia, because Russia has Putin, who is just changing his job title every so often, but that man has all of the power.
See, the Putin thing is funny to me because it's like, it's almost like he changes his title in ways that like certain small businesses will change their name to avoid paying taxes. Yeah.
Correct. Brodo Baggins says he looks from Uganda. That's fair. Shutdown. Like, yeah, shutdown is
shutdown. I think that's the word they use. I want to say.
I have fur down low. I bet you do. You know, to what you pee through. The glizzies collapse. And also, are there any Canadian superheroes? Yeah.
His name is Wolverine.
Wolverine, you dumb motherfucker. Okay. Brodo Baggins, I respected you, but not anymore.
And Chad Kroger.
Also Chad Kroger. That's fair. All of Nickelback.
They're superheroes.
They are. They are. You know, that's yeah. So 2013, the Senate declined to pass the bill with measures to delay the Affordable Care Act, and the two legislative houses did not develop compromise bill by the end of September 30th, 2013, causing the federal government to shut down due to a lack of appropriated funds at the start of the new 2014 fiscal year. That's what it was. So it was a shutdown. You're right. But it is a furlough is the technical term for it. And they use that. First off, Wolverine is Australian. Then Deadpool. Yeah, Alpha Flight. Frodo Baggins, you need to learn how to read, sir.
No, Hugh Jackman is Australian. Wolverine is Canadian.
I want cheesecake. Same here, bro, but I'm fat and I'm trying not to.
Does sound good, bro.
Second, he was a U.S. soldier in the movies.
I kind of want a milkshake now. Shit.
Who doesn't? But yeah, so listen, there's a lot of questions with regards to this, and I'm glad that we were able to touch on it. But everyone, just so you guys know, number one, make sure you subscribe. Sniffing Glue 22, Dino the Genetic Marvel. We are doing shows regularly. We have a few in development. Thursday, we are premiering Mental Health.
This Thursday?
This Thursday,
right.
Which we're going to do at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, somewhere around there.
8:30, because I have to drop off Jack at 7:30. So yeah. It just gives me more time.
That's fair. So 8:30 on Thursday, we're going to be doing that. We also have Hammered and Cheese on Saturdays. And then when are you taking over for Generation Dan for a couple weeks? Is it going to be in the next, is this week?
That's all. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's you, man.
That's me. So
you let me know.
Generation Dan is going to be next Sunday. So tune into that. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Send this to your enemies and or friends. We will roast them equally. So please feel free. Send us a super chat. You can send him a gift. He's got special powers. I don't have them yet. I'm always one step behind Cole Clayton because he's young and fast, and I'm old and brittle.
Not bad.
I'm
quick. There's a difference.
You're not even quick, but that's fine.
I don't have a second gear. I just start fast. After that,
automatic transition, but only when you're downhill.
Right.
But everyone, thank you very much for watching. Please leave us your opinion, and we will talk about it. But yeah, we'll be back on Thursday talking about mental health and all these good topics, and we'll keep on going. So, anything else you want to add? Do you have anything else this week? No.
Yeah, check us out Thursday and Saturday, and I think Jack, we're doing every other weekend meals on Fridays. He's my son. He's gonna be 9 next week.
Jesus.
So like he's got an attitude. So it really depends on what mood he's in on Fridays. But yeah, I hope to do that on Friday. And yeah, so.
And we'll leave you with this picture right here, everyone, because that's what real men do. So feel
That
free.
was so gay. Why did you do that?
Because I'm a bastard. Anyways, have a great night, everyone, and we will see you in a couple days.